Today, Dad and I are managing in a variation of the Premier League. What's different is there's other clubs from the UK and Ireland creating a brand new Pyramid League system. So my dad decided to be Shamrock Rovers of Dublin, Ireland, while I decided to be Linfield FC of Belfast, Northern Ireland. And it just so happens that they begin in the same league in this pyramid. Be prepared though as I show you the point system, because this one is utter chaos from season 1, as we tried to mix it with the big boys of the Premier League. Right, Dad, today, a little bit of something different. We've got ourselves kind of like a UK and Ireland database going on here.
Yeah.
The UK and Ireland Super League.
I do like the Super League, so I'll be interested.
Yeah, it's a little bit something different. Now, we have decided to pick one team from Northern Ireland, one team from Ireland. We've got at Windsor Park, Linfield FC. I am the manager of Belfast, of course, and Dad, you are the manager of Shamrock Rovers.
Yep.
Of course, based in Dublin. So how this kind of works, this database, from what we understand, the Premier League has been split into 2 groups. As you can see, there's one group at the top there. We are in Group B, in the same one, which is why we picked it. But you go into kind of 2 teams get relegated automatically, 2 teams go into a relegation playoff, and then you basically play a couple of games and then against the teams who finish in the playoff positions of the division below, which has a lot of groups, as you can see, with a lot of different teams in it. So this is basically a database with a lot of different teams all around UK and Ireland, all crammed into one thing. But the money is very good on it, which is the reason why we thought it might be quite fun to give it a go, give it a blast, because for every win that you get £5 million in the bank, and for every draw, you get yourself £1 million. So a lot of money to be won.
I think we're going to need it as well. After looking at our teams, they're not very good teams, are they?
Yeah, you might have also noticed the divisions that we are in, the teams that are in our league, the likes of Chelsea, Manchester City and United.
Yeah,
Tottenham's in our group. So it ain't going to be easy.
No chance.
We have to survive beating out at least 2 other teams. Now, thankfully, the likes of Kilmarnock, the New Saints is in there. Maybe if we've built a good enough team, maybe Celtic, and Luton as well is in our group. It's going to be really hard. We're going to be fighting for these at least 13th and 14th position in the first season. But it's not like we've just been chucked in with these teams and no money to do it with very little reputation. No. The database itself has given us a bit of a boost in reputation. We've gone up to a 3-star reputation, which is the same as what each of us have been given, and we were also given £50 million with a nice and healthy wage budget. So we went out and signed pretty much a player for every position.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Which, as you can see here, Dad total spent £61 million, but a lot of these players, or some of the loan signings anyway, these are the players that he has brought in, so you can see the list of names there that you might be very aware of. And tactically, you've gone for this. Now, I looked at this and I was like, I don't know what Dad's doing, but never mind, maybe he does. One player that is staying in there, Jack Byrne, is a player that was already at Shamrock. I think Burke might have been as well. He might have been another player there. So outside of those 2, pretty much a full side has been brought. But of course, with that little reputation, we couldn't exactly be bringing in world-class players.
No.
We still have to kind of find these little gems that we hope will be good enough to help us survive.
I think it's an alright tactic. Triangle.
You're going about the tactic, look. I was going on about the players, he's going on about the tactic. He's so offended by it.
You can't say much more about the players. We bought what we could. I mean, I applied for a few other players and they weren't even interested in coming to me. So no. I felt that I've bought the best player that I possibly could for each position. Yeah,
and that was basically the way I attacked it as well.
Yeah.
I think I spent lot less than you, £23 million there. I had £8 million left. I went out and got quite a lot of free transfers. So I think from this list, I actually think all of them, all of these players here, all the free transfers was players that I brought in. So the likes of Kevin Strootman was my signing. Even a couple of Football Manager wonder kids from, do you remember Danny Wilson when he was good, when he was at Liverpool, or all the way back in the day? But a lot of players coming in. That's what we've brought in. I think my talisman signing is Nelson Viper.
100%.
The fact that I was even able to get him was astonishing. He has started the season well. 6 goals in 4 games. However, it says in the Premier League, it ain't. We haven't actually started in the Premier League yet. This is where there's a lot of fixture congestion as well going on in this database. I wouldn't recommend just going in this database if you like football Football Manager as serious it could possibly be. We love a little bit of chaos here on the Omega Luke channel every now and then. This certainly gives us chaos.
We were gone, weren't we?
I also very much doubt we're going to pick up a lot of points because the competitions, of course, have all the big boys in it as well from the UK. So in less than 5 years, we're able to build big enough teams to defeat them. I can't see us getting that many points either way, but there is European football, there is FA Cup, Carabao Cup. For some reason, the Community Shield was split up into like some kind of weird format that we were in, and a Diamond League. I don't know how the Diamond League plays out, but neither of us managed to get very far in it because you were eliminated really early on, and I think it's still actually ongoing, so we still don't really know much.
I'd be disappointed if we don't win one of those. I mean, there's so many cups on offer. Surely we could win at least
there's like
one
5 competitions in every
I mean, I can understand
season.
us not sort of like we might not do very well in the league because all the teams that's in the league as well.
Yeah,
and we're at a disadvantage already. We've got to build a side, haven't we?
Yes,
we'll build a squad really, but we might stand a chance in a cup somewhere along the line, surely.
Possibly. With the Premier League, it actually splits, so the top 2 then go against each other, kind of like in the MLS where it determines an actual winner. Are you following this? I hope you are. Either way, it's going to be chaotic. We've built ridiculous teams. My tactic, I don't know what to expect. I just went with a 4-4-2 and just hit and hope, really, with my 4-4-2. I think when I was looking for players, I was just thinking, if I just go 4-4-2, I kind of know where I'm going to be situated here. So I've got Aaron Connolly and Nelson Viper up front. Got a good enough squad, I think, to try and survive, but I guess we'll find out.
You got a good goal scorer, so you got a chance, haven't you?
Schedule-wise, it's quite hard to determine the season because we've played... I mean, some of these games were like day after each other, as you can see, the 17th and 18th. The ridiculous amount of games.
Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Thursday, Friday we're playing.
Yeah, we're playing something like 5 games in 1 week at some point. But so we are playing a ridiculous amount of games, which is going to cost us in some regard. But at the same time, it might be quite funny. So we haven't actually started the league table yet. Again, your schedule, Dad, looks very similar. You had games which was like almost the day of. The next, you had like a couple of days in between there, so you didn't as strict as mine, but it was still quite bad.
I'm happy with that start, to be honest. Yeah, I know it's all in different cups and that. So have we played a league game yet? Oh, yeah,
no, Premier League B.
Yeah, so we haven't played a league game yet. So.
No.
All right, played a lot of cup games and I'm doing well.
Yeah, I think our biggest hope is just to survive this season while we try and figure out what the hell we're doing.
Yeah, and more games you win, bigger the money at the end.
Exactly, and so that's what we got to hope.
Yeah.
We gain enough money to build a good enough team to, when we do understand something, we actually win something. That might be quite fun. But anyway, it's kind of Northern Ireland versus Ireland in this rebuild. Just a little bit of fun. Let's see what happens in the first season. Well, first season, both of us have been relegated.
Well, we wanted to stay away from that, what was it, 13th and 14th position?
Yeah.
And that's exactly where we stayed.
I got a little bit further. I got to the relegation playoff final where I played against Hibernian, who are the league below, and I lost 5-4 in aggregate despite winning 3-0 in the second leg. So I don't think it was as good enough for you. I don't think you even got to that bit, did you? Where did you get to the quarter? Yeah, you were knocked out by Bristol City 5-0 in the relegation quarter-final playoff. So even when you get relegated, you have to go through the playoffs just to survive. And we did say this would be a little bit crazy, didn't we? But Manchester City won the whole thing. They even won the playoff that you would have to play against the top of Group A. And they won that as well. Now, we finished 13th and 14th, which does mean I actually get a point for finishing higher, despite us both getting relegated. We've actually gone far enough to realise we're actually keeping our jobs at this point. Yeah. So that's remarkable as well. But in the both games that we played against each other, it was a 1-1 and a 0-0. So absolutely enthralling stuff that you're getting here on the Omega Luke channel. Really incredible, intense rivalries going on with a 1-1 and a 0-0, which means in the first season, unless either of us have won the cup, it's gonna be 1-0 on points. So let's take a look there. We're on Omega Luke on Linfield, who, remember, is relegated into the championship next season, and there's no cups whatsoever. None. Knocked out in the league playoff of the Europa Conference League, 4th round by Wolves, 3rd round by Bristol City, and then quarter-final of, for some reason, the quarter-final of the Community Shield.
Playoff of the Community Shield as well.
Yeah, I love databases like this, but sometimes when they put them together, I just think, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
But there we go. Let's have a look, Dad. Did you win a cup competition?
Come on.
No. Fifth round by Plymouth Argyle, then round of 16 by Brentford and Liverpool in the first round of the Community Shield.
Yeah.
You couldn't get past the first round, but no, you also was in the Champions League.
I got knocked out by some good sides.
Yeah, you didn't get very far in the Champions League either, unfortunately. So, never mind. Right, so we are now going into the Championship Five Nations Challenge League. So the Five Nations, of course, being the UK and Ireland. And this is split into groups of three groups, of 32 teams. Jesus Christ. Now, by the looks of it, there's one automatic promotion, sometimes two, or is it just straight out two? It is two. The top two get automatic promotion, and then by the looks of it, the rest of them kind of go into like a playoff scenario into where we were actually relegated from. So as you can see in the promotion playoff, the next four teams. So if you're getting in the top six, so it very much is like the Championship.
Yeah.
Get yourself into the top six, you got a chance of being promoted. Get yourself in the top two, automatic promotion.
Happy with that. We
So
know
that's
what
gotta
we're
be
doing.
all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know what we're doing now.
We've got a 1 in 3 chance we go into the same league.
Yeah.
So we might not even be playing against each other next season. But let's have a look at our team's performance. And then, of course, the money that we've been given to kind of rebuild ourselves back into the Premier League. So, Dad, 16 goals from Marcus Forss.
Yeah.
Not amazing.
Nope.
Matteo Joseph also got 11 for the 20-year-old that you've brought in, who's not a bad striker.
No.
But
Young lad.
not exactly...
Didn't score a lot of goals.
Yeah, not tearing up trees, are they?
That's why I'm down with the bottom. That's why.
Yeah. Transfer budget, 63 million.
Pleased with that.
Yeah.
Considering I got relegated.
Yeah, but we know as with the old Super League database we used to use, that's because the money of players is high as well.
Yeah.
So players are going to be inflated rates. Just got to get used to it. Myself, let's have a look. So how many did Nelson Viper got? 40 goals with 13 assists. How did I still get relegated with that?
At 19.
Because 31 for Aaron Connolly as well.
So you got 17. You got 85 goals of 3 strikers.
Yeah.
And you still got relegated.
Now still got relegated. Defense was awful. 26 assists as well from Samuel Kalu. So not too bad there. But yeah, Nelson Viper. He's also wanted.
Good boy. I'll be selling him straight away.
Has a release clause of £34 million. Let's hope I don't lose that. Might have to try and offer him a contract straight away. But I've been given £75 million. So again, good amount of money to rebuild in this second season. So let's see what we spend that on now that we're in the Five Nations Championship. I think that was the name of it anyway. All right then. I don't think we're getting the gist of this yet, but we've certainly spent some money. £76 million, I think, which was actually my budget. I have spent every single penny of it. Now, not going to go over all of the signings. You can see him on screen right now. Loris Karius was even one of them for £14 million. To tell you a little fact, I tried getting in the season before. He was a free transfer. He rejected me. It's now cost me £14 million to bring him in anyway. Sanjin Prijic was my main CDM signing that I've picked up. Hopefully he can get us back in. But there's a couple of defenders in there. There's Nico Paz and Nicholas Kuhn is 2 wingers that I have brought in that I think is really going to shore up, especially Nico Paz. £4 million, that's a great signing. He's only 19, he has a great potential as well. I think he might be really good for me. A couple of players did leave as well. Now, tactically, I have switched it around slightly. Instead of going for that 2 in centre midfield, we have now gone for a pairing of a volante on attack and a DM on support, and try and give us a little bit of something in front of the defence and allowing my fullbacks to be a little bit more free-flowing going forward. And I've changed a couple of the instructions as well to go a bit wider. And we were too narrow, so I'm going to go a bit wider and see if we can trust these wingers going forward. Now, we are in different leagues, which obviously we didn't know would happen until after. We haven't started yet, but I'm in Challenge League Group B. Dad, you are not in A. You must be in C. There you are. 20. You're not 26. Don't worry. I haven't played any games yet. Don't panic. We've played a lot of games, don't get me wrong, but Dad is in Group C. I am in Group B. This could be a rebuild where we're in different divisions now for the whole thing. We do not know yet, but I'm interested to find out nonetheless. For some reason as well, I qualify for Europe at some point qualification stage and then got eliminated. I don't know how I managed to qualify for that, but I went through a long run of qualification legs all the way up until the 29th of August, where I lost 2-0, and all of that was bloody pointless. So
it's like having friendlies, though, isn't it?
Diamond League Group A, I'm also second in that. I think there's a couple of more games to play, so I don't know whether we'll win that one either. But Dad, let's have a look at your signings as well. £63 million, pretty much again what you spent, what you had to spend anyway.
Yeah.
Your big signings, you went like less than me. Sasha Kaladzic obviously being
good
a good striker.
Yeah.
Alertson, it's a really good centre
solid
midfielder.
Yeah. So I'm sort of going for this sort of spine of the team like I do. Number midfielder.
Esposito.
I tried getting his brother. I thought I'd get his brother nice and young.
Francisco Pio.
He wasn't interested in coming.
No, he wasn't.
No.
Max Lowe as well. Spent the most money on him, which was a left back there.
Yeah, good left back. So hopefully he would do me well,
then we've got like the likes of Reece Healy up front, Abu Kamara as well. So a couple of English players.
I've got a couple of good strikers there, really. So I feel a bit sort of happier now with my strike force.
Okay. So tactically,
I've gone
for the three up front. You know, if Dad's buying loads of strikers, you probably know what's going to come next.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So looking at this then, you can kind of guess the way Dad's looking at things. With that 3 in midfield, no wingers now, 3 up front, his very favoured narrow formation of the 4-3-3. And
it's working.
It is, yeah. You've actually qualified somehow for the Champions League. Again,
finished lower than you in the league, and I'm in the Champions League.
We have no idea how, whether it's because behind the scenes the game still picks up if you're the best team in Ireland or the best team in Northern Ireland, you automatically go through the qualifying stages like you would in a normal database. That's my biggest guess on how that's happened, because nothing came up at the end of the season to suggest that we were qualifying for that, and you are in the Champions League phase as well, which, again, if you look at the teams that are in it, very much backs up my theory that you've had to have been one of the highest rated in your country, despite all the countries being together.
It's got to be that.
Yeah, because the rest of it looks like a standard Champions League phase, if I'm honest, in Season 2. So best of luck.
I ain't going very far on that.
Although you do have a really good team now. Yeah. We'll see, I guess. Season number 2. As we mentioned, we're in different groups, but our goals are exactly the same. To finish in that top 2, if not, finish in a top 6, and just pray we can get ourselves back into the Premier League, Group A or Group B. So let's see what happens. Well, Linfield, I'm back in the Premier League. Get in.
Only lost 2 games, well done.
Just behind Birmingham. Actually lost less than Birmingham, the least amount of games, but they finished just slightly higher. Nelson Viper, 56 goals this season. That man was a machine. So really, really happy with that.
You were there the whole season as well.
Yeah, so fantastic time. But what about in Group C? Does Dad also qualify or get promoted? Yes, he does. 121 points. We did determine this off screen.
Lost 6 games.
If we did finish in the same position, we would give the points to whoever had the most points.
Well, it's fair enough.
We're not in the same league.
You had, was it 129?
I don't even remember. So you had 121. I had 120.
So you would have finished higher than me in the league.
If we were in the same division, I would have finished higher. Yeah. So I get 1 point for that. So that's nice. We didn't get to play against each other. So unless we've won a cup, that's our one solitary point. Unless Dad wins Champions League, he gets 7.
If I win the Champions, I deserve to win the whole challenge.
I think we just end on Season 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. If you've won the Champions League with Shamrock in Season 2, fair play.
Come on.
So, very good stuff. We've both got ourselves promoted back to the Premier League. That's what we kind of hoped for. So that's nice, in a way. Looking at yours, Dad, you lost 6 games, but only drew 1. So, good amount of results there. And then profile of the league. Nelson Viper was the top scorer, so this considers all 3 groups in one. He was the top scorer of the whole thing with 29. He also had the highest average rating and the most player of the matches.
Well, so there you go.
Really good. What's happening on the competitions page? No wins for Linfield. Now, first round by Chelsea, second round by Bournemouth, and of course I was already knocked out of that, and I didn't get any further in the 5 Nations Diamond League, which when you start playing this, it feels so relevant. Because then you have to go for another league phase, plus the other 2 cups, plus Europe for some reason. So
and
I don't
be
know
honest
what the
you don't stand a chance because you're playing day after day might have a 1 day break or something like that.
Yeah, again, the fixtures are so crammed together.
So resting players means they can just change the squad completely, doesn't it?
Yeah. Dad, the competitions page for you? No. Oh, I can't believe that.
Oh, could you?
How did you not go through this?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, to be fair, you won
I
a
didn't
game.
come bottom. Look at the teams below me. Look, there's some
You
good
beat
teams
Bayer
there.
Leverkusen.
Yeah.
And you drew 3. Very good.
I'm happy with that.
Lost 4 games, but that's 5. You lost to Arsenal. Hey, you got your nice little trip to the Emirates. I bet you enjoyed that. Probably did a stadium tour and bought a shirt and a scarf and stuff, because he would probably really enjoy stuff like that. Let's have a look then at your goals. Abu Kamara with 30. That's unexpected.
It was.
He did play up front in your free striker formation,
Yeah.
but I wasn't expecting him to be the one
Leading goal scorer.
to
No.
be the leading goal scorer. No.
I mean, it's a bit better. I got, was it 3-4 players in double, 5 players in double figures?
Yeah.
A little bit better.
6 actually.
6, yeah.
So not bad, because Relvas, which is your
Left
centre
back.
back's done quite well.
Yeah.
Going up for set pieces and stuff, but we play so many games that I'm not really surprised. 19 assists from Salvatore Esposito. Fantastic stuff. But the money now going back into the Premier League, 49 million. So slightly less than last season,
Yeah, cool.
but still good enough to bring in a couple of players. And if you're looking at, if you're wondering like, oh, what's the values of these class of players? Simon Profundi at 19 is worth roughly 45 million pounds. I would say that they're about 10 to 15 million pound overpriced than what they usually are. I think that would be normally like a 30 million pound player, 35 million pound player at that point. So that's kind of where the values are. So I would say like that's an okay budget. Not going to win you a lot of players in it though. Might have to do some wheeling and dealing. Linfield, let's see what I've been up to here. 56 goals. Oh, Jesus. In 48 games.
That's why he was top of the charts.
Yeah. Florian Andone got 15 goals in 17 starts. That's not bad at all. He is unhappy. The training facilities have not been improved.
He missed a couple of penalties this way.
Yeah. So Samuel Kalu got 24 assists. That's really good as well. I'm happy with that. I think that's nice. My budget, 49 million. Again, roughly the same. So we know none of us got any points other than that one solitary one that I managed to win, so let's have a look at the points. Okay, so Season 2 points are Omega Luke with 1, Dad with 0, means that Omega Luke now has 2, and Dad has 0. Okay, busy summer again.
Yep.
I started off with a lovely little free transfer of Mohamed Simakan. So that's a really big upgrade for our defence for a free transfer, so I'm happy to bring him to Linfield. Good signing, that is.
Turned me down.
He did, yeah. I went for him in early. Dad tried going for him. Guess who you went to? I spent another £40 million though, although I did sell another £14 million. So a few players have left the club, including some free transfers as well. But really the main highlights, Isaac Toure from Stoke, £20 million. He is 6'8". Like, that guy is...
I'm going to do that on my bad neck.
Walking
I can't do it
in.
at the moment.
Walking in, I'm like... cheers for coming in, mate. I really appreciate you joining the club.
I'd be around his knees.
So here's my new left-footed centre-back with 18 strength. So yeah, this is exciting. I like bringing in just freak athletes like this. Other than that, Tresoldi is another player that I quite like the look of for £3.9 million. Very much like Nelson Viper. He's like the Italian version of Nelson Viper. Doesn't look too special, and then you get him in the match engine, and he looks fantastic.
Yeah.
He's got 4 goals in 3 games to me already at the start of the season, and I only picked him up for £4 million. So some really good signings in there. Matt O'Reilly was another cheap one. Robert Wagner was one for like £2.5 billion. Good midfielder, plays all over the pitch. I have gone basically for the same formation because I think, why do I need to change it? And Tresoldi and Viper are playing really well with each other up front. So that is happy days. Toure and Simakan at the back as well. Lovely stuff. We are again in different groups. We've actually come back on the 29th because this is when the transfer window is closed. Usually it's at the end of August, start of September. This time it's just the 29th of August, so we just ended it right here. So the Premier League Group B for me starts in the upcoming games, as you can see. Dad's not in it. Plymouth Argo are, though, which is interesting. That's our hometown. Let's see, Dad, what you've been up to. Oh, by the way, I'm in the Champions League phase. Yeah, I've had a very good start.
Yeah.
I haven't lost any games. I drew a couple. Got a 10-0 win in there as well, so that was lovely. Not really conceding many goals. The most important game's coming up soon, though. FA Community Shield, first round. I don't know why. Whoever made this database, I really wish you took that out of the game.
Yeah.
Plus the Diamond League's a bit pointless, but we'll see anyway. Dad, let's look at the transfers you've been doing. £70 million has been spent. You brought £27 million in, but £70 million has been spent.
I needed a few sort of better players in, didn't I? So yeah.
Yeah.
I got a really good keeper in, though, for £4 million.
Yeah, Juan
I was pleased with this. I tried a couple of other goalkeepers, but none of them were any near as good as this player that I could get in. So £4 million, and I was willing to pay more.
Yeah.
You know, like with keepers, I'll pay 30 million, 40 million.
Yeah, it's weird. You were like, I'll give you 8, and they were like, just give us 4. It's fine. So yeah, that was a release clause. I got a feeling like there's a lot of like relegation release clauses in this database.
Yeah.
It seems to be whenever we're signing somebody, they want a relegation release clause that's quite low.
Yeah.
Got a feeling that's kind of how we've been able to
trying
get
to take
some
them
of
out of
these
their
players.
contract. I mean, some players wouldn't let us take them out of their contracts, would they?
No. I think Van der Brent's a good signing for you as well, the right back that you've brought in. He's
so I've got a good left back in
player.
there now, and I've got a good right back, and I think Coco was centre back, was he? I paid a lot of money.
Player.
Paid a lot of money for this guy as well. So strengthening my defence up, got to keep her in, right across the all my defence. So hopefully I should do a little bit better.
Going with the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Going with the same lineup that we were rocking last season. As you can see here, very similar lineup as well compared to obviously the players that you brought in. They have been going into the team. Diallo was another one that you brought in.
Yeah.
Abdou Diallo alongside Coco, Soriano and Van der Bremt is all in there. So let's see how you've been doing at the start of the season. You're going into Premier League Group A, by the way.
Yeah.
So you're in Group A, I'm in Group B. I don't know whether it stays that way because by the looks of it, there's a couple of teams which have actually switched over because for some reason Celtic's in this one.
Yeah.
Now, when they were in Group B, obviously, when we first started it.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
So whether it's seeded, we still don't know. But it's chaos, and I quite enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that's the Premier League group that you're in. But
not a bad start. I'm pleased with that, though.
You're in the Europa League phase. Again, we have no idea why Dad's qualified for Europe or why I even qualified for Europe. But you lost against AEK Athens in the Champions League third qualifying stage. Then went against Ljubljana in the Europa League qualifier, and that's why you've got to play in that one. So there we go. But again, fixture congestion, not enjoyable at the start of the season. So season number 3, the points are, let's face it, really low. But I'm enjoying the chaos, and I actually think we're on something now where we can try and build these teams so that we don't get relegated. Possibly we can look upwards instead of down.
Definitely.
Let's see what happens. Right, that's not bad. 9th place. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I would be, yeah.
Just got up there. So I'm miles away from any danger. 43-59, which is where I think we needed to be this season.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the teams above you, English Premier, apart from the Rangers, all English Premier type teams, so it's good, really.
As you kind of would expect. And we're above a couple of Premier League sides, like Bournemouth, of course. Forest and Brentford going down. Tottenham have gone on and won the whole thing. That shows you how unrealistic this database actually is. Let's have a look though, Dad, at Group A. Did you survive? Yes, you did.
Get in.
6th place as well.
Yeah, happy with that.
That's very good. 75 points there. So we guarantee you picked up a point this season because you finished higher. We're in different leagues, but you did finish higher in the league that you are in. I'm curious, what was your past positions like, Dad? You were quite high at one point in 3rd place, challenging for those promotion, the Premier League spots at the top there.
Yeah.
Not too bad. All right, let's look at the profile of the league. Nelson Vipers up there with 21 goals, 22 from Erling Haaland. Abu Kamara, 15 as well. Highest average rating, Nelson Viper, who also had quite a lot of man of the matches as well. Not too bad at all. Right, we're on Omega Luke and Linfield. Did I win any competitions? Maybe a Champions League or something. I don't know. Let's see how I did. No, nothing. There's just so many competitions. League phase of the Champions League. Let's take a look at it. Where did I fit? 27th. I won 2 games. Slavia Prague and Legia Warszawa drew 2 as well, cracking 4-all away there to Real Sociedad and lost against some of the big boys. Round of 16 by Stockport in the FA Cup and 3rd round by Arsenal. Dad, let's have a look at your competitions page. No, round of 16 by Manchester United in the Europa League, though.
I'll take that.
Quarter-final by Aston Villa in the FA Cup. 3rd round by Tottenham in the Carabao
Cup. I got knocked out by all good teams as well.
And Tottenham. Yeah, well done. Round of 16, Manchester United was the team that knocked you out there.
Yeah, it's a close one as well.
Knockout playoff round. You didn't play in the knockout playoff round, which meant you finish in the top 8. Oh, you had a great time.
Yeah, there we go, look.
5 wins. Beat Lazio 4-0 away from home. Ridiculous scoreline there. Drew 2 to Girona and Slovan Bratislava. And only lost to Man United again. again, who finished below you in the league, hilariously.
Unbelievable.
31 goals from Sasha Kalajic,
better.
28 from Abu Kamara, and Mikhail Kaufman, 25.
Yeah, that's good.
Your 3 strikers all getting over 25 goals. Transfer budget, £85 million. Now we're talking.
Oh, hello. This is it now, isn't it? This gets interesting now.
This is where the money is, and we're going into season number 4 now, and we've got some big old budgets. Let's take a look at my Linfield side. We know Nelson... Oh, my God. I was going to say, we know Nelson Viper had a good season. 62 in 61 games. Yeah, 61 games with 12 assists.
Picked him up at the right time, didn't you?
Tresaldi got 30. I would have been happy with that one. And Aaron Connolly, 13 off the bench. Kalu with 13 assists and 12 goals. Nico Paz, first season, 28 goals. Look at that. Solid, or 28 assists.
Yeah.
Solid season from the young lad. Okay, my transfer budget for next season, 70 million.
It's good. 2
big budgets there.
Yes.
Gotta be happy with that, but let's have a look at the points. Season 3 points are Omega Luke with 0 and Dad with 1 for finishing higher, which means the total points are Omega Luke with 2 and Dad with 1. Huge transfer window for Dad this season. £107 million on the outs.
Yeah, I think I just sort of cleared out the ones that was not getting good places and some that I felt I just wanted to change, really.
So the likes of Kamara, who of course scored quite a lot of goals for you. He left the club. Abu Diallo, who's only just come in last season, sold for big money there. £27 million.
So I made a good profit on some players as well. Yeah,
and the replacement for him, Mavropanos, was the highest expensive player that you brought in this summer.
Yeah, good centre-back.
Very good centre-back indeed. The Greek international. £33 million from Hull. Lorenzo Luca. I've got one 6'8" player. You got one 6'7". Yours is a striker. Speaking of Italian striker, he's not Italian, but Portuguese. But he's playing in Italy. Vitinha.
Yeah, good finisher of the ball as well. So both feeded, so I can play him either side because I'll probably keep me free up front, I think. So yeah.
£26 million for him. £25 million for a really good midfielder in Anton Stack.
Yeah, that's my defensive midfielder replaced, so I think this is another
good ball
sort of,
winner.
Yeah,
look at that.
That's
like the teamwork,
I've got for you.
Aggression, anticipation. Yeah, he's your destroyer on the pitch, isn't he? Really good. And then a couple of like right back, centre backs. Rurstalev coming in there. He's good on the ball, and Alejandro Francis we see quite a lot. I
mean, he plays right across, so he's a good sort of one to get in just in case of any injuries and that. Yeah. Because like we've seen with the fixtures that we're playing, especially at the beginning of the season.
It's got worse, by the way. The fixtures have got worse.
So you need a big squad, really, with good players in every position, really.
Yeah. Stick with what you had.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Stick with that.
Best 11 pick you can see looks like this. Stack goes in. Mavropanos is in. The strikers are in as well. Yeah. So some good stuff there. Let's look at the schedule. I think, am I right in saying we're in the same group this year? Yeah. Don't know why. No idea why.
This makes it more interesting now, isn't it?
Yeah, we're in the same group. But as you can see, we haven't played each other just yet. Some of the games are coming at us thick and fast. As you can see, like Dad played on the 2nd, the 4th, and the 6th in this.
Well, you got the 2nd, you played the 1st.
Yeah, the 1st and the 2nd. You played the day after, and then 2 days later, 2 days later, 2 days later, 3 days later, and then you had a bit of a rest.
Yeah.
7 days, and that was it. So a lot of games in a short space of time. We haven't obviously started the Premier League group yet. That is still to come, but you have qualified for the Champions League, which I'm sure you're really excited with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, win the challenge.
Yeah, exactly. Let's have a look then at my transfers. I've brought in £103 million worth of players. £23 million went out. Not as much as what Dad managed to sell, but a couple of players, squad players there. My big signing is Lambord. He has come in as what I think would now be my best striker, but whether he can live up to Nelson Viper, I don't know. But the Omega Luke curse is here again. Because as you can see, new signing comes in, bang, broke his ankle. Now he's out. So
I'll blame your assistant manager. I mean, you won that game 7-0. You should have got him off earlier.
No idea what's going on. But yeah, he's out for another 8 weeks. Antonio Blanco's a good signing, £20 million. Cracking Spaniard there in midfield. Other than that, as you can see, Archie Brown is a really good left back. That's there. Orishi, actually. I might show you Orishi because he's quite impressive. He's a midfielder. You can also play on the right. He's a new gen. 19 years of age. Plays both feet. £4.9 million.
Bargain.
Okay, so tactically, I'm sticking with what we had last season. I think basically just bringing in the better players might improve my standing in the league.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I've kept
losing my voice, so I'll keep coughing. Schedule-wise, crazy amount of fixtures for you again. I played on the 12th, the 13th, the 15th, the 17th, the 19th, the 22nd, 26th as well. And I've got a break of 3 days before the next game. God, I'm losing my voice here because the games are coming so thick and fast. I'm shouting on the sideline. I've just got a really bad throat from wrestling. We're in the same group now, which makes it a little bit more interesting for us. Also makes it harder for us because we're the two teams that probably everybody thinks is going to get relegated.
Yeah.
But we're trying to survive. I think we're building good enough teams to survive.
I think we should survive, yeah. I think I'm looking at sort of 7th, hang in the middle.
All right, I mean, yeah, you finished 6th last season.
Yeah. So I'll be disappointed if I finish lower than 7th. So
yeah, I was 9th last season. You were 6th. So yeah, around that, I would be happy again. And then the final season, we could really go for it. And see what we can do. So let's have a look then. Season number 4. Now we're back in the same league. Some points can be won, but who's picking them up? Right, end of the season. Almost the same as last year.
Yeah.
You just missed out on that 6th place. I'm guessing you lost to Chelsea on the final game of the season because they went to 79-75 and overtook you. I finished in 9th. We're avoiding relegation, and this is an example, actually, of how the relegation spots are because West Ham, as you can see there, beat Watford 4-0 and it's 6-0 in total, and they finished below Norwich, who got relegated on the same points.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show how the relegation playoff, if it is taking you 4 seasons to understand, now you finally know. Manchester City win the whole thing. Brighton in the other division actually finished top, and also like the amount of points that have accumulated. 104 from 30 games. That's mental. I don't know how that's worked. I don't know how this works, but for some reason, yeah, the points are really high. Again, this is the first time we're using this database. We simmed it to see if it works, and then we just thought, this looks quite fun, and went for it. The schedule then, well, let's look at the goals, sorry. Nelson Viper with 14. Erling Haaland running away there with 26. Nobody else other than Maloney, who had a lot of yellow cards this season. So that's always fun. Competitions. Mega Luke at Linfield. Did I win anything? No. Couldn't even get to the quarterfinal of the damn Community Shield. Round of 16 by Kilmarnock in the Carabao Cup as well. First round by Bishop's Stortford Football Club in the FA Cup. Talk about like a journey that is.
Well done, Bishop.
For Bishop Stortford's Football Club, knocking out the mighty Linfield in the FA Cup first round proper. That is what everybody, wants to see. Knockout playoff round by Sporting, though. I'm happy with that. Managed to get to that far. So that's really good. Obviously, you're in the Europa League going into this season. Let's see how you did this season, Dad. Boom! No, you weren't. You're in the Champions League. You got that on the league face.
Never mind. Surprise there.
You didn't get upset by anybody?
No, I didn't. I'm Liverpool and Crystal Palace. I'll take that, really. I prefer to win, but...
Yeah. You couldn't even get to the quarterfinal of the FA Cup Community Shield, whatever it was. Knocked out in the league phase, sorry. So you finished 26th, Dad. You beat
That's an improvement.
Dinamo Zagreb, drew to PSG.
I'll take that.
Yeah. And lost 4.
Yeah.
Take that, he says, as he's been eliminated in the league phase. I won 3 games. Beat Lyon, Lazio, and Ghent. Drew 2. Celtic and Napoli, and lost 3 games. One was against Real Madrid. So, not bad at all. No points, though, for me, but you do get a couple of points, Dad. Unless I defeated you in the league campaign. We forgot about that. You lost 11 games. None of them, by the looks of it, was against me. Okay, we're going to have a look at this. How many... Oh, great. Dad wins 3 points this season. That was a bit of a turnaround, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So 3 points for you. With my 2 points, that means the total points I can do off the top of my head for this one is Omega Luke with 2. Dad with 3. Let's have a look at the rest of the stuff then. So we're on Dad's here. Lorenzo Luca with 22 and 12 assists. We've got 17 for Vitinha. Romero with 15. Not as much as what I thought it would be.
Really sort of dipped there. So, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with that.
I thought it would be way more, but there we go. Transfer budget for next season, £88 million.
See, something's going to change.
Yeah, probably. Absolutely. Let's have a look at, surely Nelson Vipers. Yeah, 40 goals. Boom. Go on, Nelson. Lambord, I spent all that money on him. He did break his ankle, but 18 goals. I was hoping for a little bit more than that. 15 from Isaac Torre, which is the centre-back, by the way, the 6'8" centre-back. Tresoldi got 13. 12 goals from Archie Brown with 10 assists. That's my left-back. Well done, son. Nico Paz again with 24 assists. Solid from him. A very unselfish player, by the looks of it, on my wings. 96 million, although the wage budget is a little bit lower, so... It'll probably be like 85, roughly about that, if I'm looking to bring those players in. But there we go. You already know the points. Let's head on to season number 5. Well, Dad, another big summer for you. £94 million on the outs.
Yeah, I was. I think when I was getting a player in sort of like buying better, I was selling the player that was in that position. That's why I sort of generated a lot of money going out.
Yeah, which allowed you to bring more in.
That's right, yeah. So, but I've gone big. I think I've gone big in certain positions as well. So I'm hoping to sort of make a difference this season.
I mean, yeah, the most that you spent was £42 million on a left back.
Yes. But I felt I really needed to sort of knuckle my defence down, so bought in a really good left back.
Caio Enrique joins the club. Good at crossing, very good going forward. William Pacho from Sheffield Wednesday, who was up
really
for some reason.
Really good centre back as well.
Yeah, solid, left-footed.
Yeah. So that's my left side of my defence done. So I'm looking solid on that side.
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't changed my keeper in armour because I thought he was so good. I just couldn't get a better keeper.
No, it was twitching. It was
it was doing
withdrawal symptoms. It was strange. Kareem Konate.
This is the guy I'm hoping is going to do it for me, really. I've got a really good striker in here. He's a beast, isn't he? So, yeah, I'm hoping this guy will do it for me.
All right. I always find he's so hit and miss on this game. I can either get him to score stupid amounts of goals or none.
That's the problem. I'm taking a chance, but it's only one season left, so it's worth the chance, really.
Dodo comes in from Fiorentina, £29 million.
Yeah, this is the right back, so, that's another sort of side done.
That's 2 Brazilians at fullback you got now. Always good at producing fullbacks. Sofian Amrabat from Fenerbahce, £24 million.
Good ball winner in the middle of the thick part for me, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then finally we got Bruno Zappelli, which is the most Italian name ever for Argentinian.
This is the guy who's going to sit behind my 2 strikers because I'm going to change it.
Got another nationality of Italian, so there's no surprise there. Yeah.
Tried the 3 up front, and I don't think it worked for me, especially the last season. So I felt like I needed a change. So I've made my defence a lot stronger, but I've just made my midfield a little bit stronger as well, I feel. So I'm going to go with 2 up front, and hopefully the 2 guys that I've got playing up front for me will do the business for me, really. I mean, they're 2 good strikers with a good attacking midfielder behind them as well.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what I'm hoping for, really.
Let's have a look at my transfer window to see what I've been up to. £64 million on the outs. The big one was Robert Wagner going to Charlton for £44 million. Not bad, because I didn't spend that much money on him at all. And Aaron Connolly leaving for £13 million. But I only spent £109 million, and I have £40 million left, but I couldn't find anybody for £40 million that I think would go into the team. Joan Garcia for £13 million joins the club in goal. Then we've got Thiago Santos, £37 million. I bought him for right mid, but he actually goes into right back, but he's good at both. Like, he's a phenomenal player, really, all around, so I'm really happy with him. Not bad as well for £37 million. Unai Vencedor, £42 million. The Spaniard from Bilbao. Quality player as well in that CDM role.
Yeah.
And then finally we got Pablo Solari from River Plate, who can play in that right midfield spot, occupying that. Likes to beat the offside trap, which I kind of like in that wingers. So I'm locking him in. I'm going to lock him in. I changed the player role as well for Lambord, who will go on the left-hand side as an advanced forward and keeping the pressing forward, because originally I had the double pressing forward because it worked early on when I was using this. But I think Lambord, as you can see here, as a pressing forward is okay, not amazing, but he's a really good advanced forward. So let's give him the reins to do what he enjoys best, and hopefully that allows him to score some goals. So schedule-wise, played a lot of games. You've also beat me, Dad, in the Community Shield round of 16, which you don't get points, of course, for knocking me out of the competition.
No, just a point for beating you.
Just a point for beating me, because it's still just the Community Shield.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I've had a cracking time.
Yeah, you have, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I even went to Gibraltar. And then when they came to me, I won 8-0 in Gibraltar. Then when they came to me, just the 13-1. So that's a bit of a stat pad there. But the rest of the season has been really good for me, as you can see. The only other points that I did drop was a 1-1 against Crystal Palace in the Diamond League Group H, which I don't really care about. It's all going to be about the Premier League groups that we've got coming up. Again, we haven't started those seasons yet, though. Yourself, Dad, other than, of course, going through to the round of 16. And then, did you get through the net? You are through to the semi-final of the Community Shield. But again, the fixtures were ridiculous, man. Yeah. You actually had some breaks, but then Friday and Saturday there, then the Monday.
I'm pleased how I come through it, though. Some good wins there.
You're in the Europa League. That's a chance.
Yes, I feel like I've got a better squad and more defensive as well, which I usually say does me better in European leagues.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in, what am I in? Champions League, so probably not. Never mind. Again, we have no idea why we keep qualifying.
No.
It's just, nothing says that we should just be qualifying.
I think you could be with it being the Irish sort of.
I think that must be it.
Yeah, got to be that, in it, with being the best 2 teams in Ireland. So
Yeah, I think that has to be it. So there we go. Right, final season then. The points are so close because we've hardly won any of them. Let's find out in season number 5 who walks away with the win. Alright, season number 5. We forgot to say we're in different leagues again, and we don't know why.
I think it's just. I think he gets drawn out at the very beginning of the season, doesn't he? Out of the ball, sort of thing.
Anyway, I finished in 6th place. I was higher.
Was 77, so that's what I was trying to
until the final day of the season. So 6th place.
Well, I didn't finish any higher than 6th.
You finished
in
8th. Again, I wasn't sure what group you was in, so I just hit a note.
Yeah.
But there you are, in 8th place. Now, the winner of the groups was Newcastle United, who won from my group there, as you can see. So, solid performance, 77 points there. I'm kind of happy with it. What did you get in the end? 59 points. So, I did beat you on points as well, which I think is fair. But there we go. Lampard was up there with high average rating. Wasn't scoring any goals, but you had high average rating. Maybe you got injured again and barely played any game. We're on Mega Luke and Linfield. Did I win a cup or anything?
Come on.
No. Yeah, we knew that
one. Yeah, that's why I got the point on it. Yeah.
Quarterfinals by Hearts, 4th round by Blackburn, and then the league phase of the Champions League, which we can check because obviously Dad's not in the Champions League. You're in Europa. God, I thought I had a bad season. Dirty 4th. Why they keep putting me in this? I didn't even win a game. Drew 3. I drew to Barcelona, and I went to Munich.
Yeah.
And I should get points for that.
Yeah.
And then I lost 5. I lost to Slavia Prague. Getting points off of Barcelona and Bayern Munich. Okay, let's have a look at you, Dad. Did you manage to win any points or a competition this final season? No. You did get to round of 16, though.
Yeah.
But Frankfurt knocked you out. Yes, Frankfurt. West Ham knocked you out the semi-final of the Community Shield. 5th round of the FA Cup by Fulham. 3rd round by Lincoln in the Carabao Cup. Tom FM is laughing at you right now.
Yeah.
Round of 16 by Frankfurt, though. 4-2 on aggregate, unfortunately, Dad. How did you get there? Well, there's 2 Irish teams in that potluck. St. Patrick's Athletic was in there as well. Let's have a look at the knockout playoff round. Knocked out Galatasaray. Yeah, you like that? Yeah.
And come back.
Yeah.
As a winner.
League phase at C, 12th place. 4 wins in 8 games. A lot of 4-1s as well.
Yeah, take that.
1 draw against Galatasaray. You had to play him 3 times and lost 3 games, including to Newcastle. Of course, went on and won the Premier League this season. So, fair enough. Frankfurt went on to win the whole bloody thing, though. Oh, look at that. Look at they beat in the bloody final. Unlucky. Losers.
Oh,
hey?
I don't believe
What
that.
do we think of Tottenham? What do we think of... You know what I'm saying? Hey? You know the song. It always happens,
I'm speechless,
doesn't it?
yeah. I'm speechless. How did that happen?
Yeah, it's either me get knocked out by Rennes or that happens to you.
Yeah.
But we love it. Either way. 28 goals from Vitinha. 26 from Lorenzo Luca. 21 from Konate.
I mean, it was better than it was last season.
Yeah.
Even though I did change the tactics, so I'm like that, really.
Kyle Enrique got 29 assists.
So it's good, really.
Yeah. Didn't win anything, though.
No, that's what I'm disappointed that we didn't. One of us didn't win something. Really.
Yeah.
It was hard, wasn't it?
It's really hard. Yeah. Especially with the fixture congestions at the start of the season. Again, if we're going back to like the start of the season, I played 3 days in a row here, and then I had 2 days break.
Yeah.
And then I played again. It was ridiculous. It
was one season. I don't know what season it was now. I think it's season 3 where I lost 4-0 and 6-0, and I got you to check the 2 squads, and we didn't know the player.
Yeah.
And any of the
because the guys are so knackered.
They rested the whole team, didn't they? And I didn't recognise any player that was playing for them.
No. So yeah, we've had to go by. I mean, even at the end of the season, it wasn't great. 19th, 23rd, 26th.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a Wednesday, Saturday situation going all the way through there, or Tuesday, Sunday. Yeah, it wasn't fun. But an enjoyable database.
Yeah.
To have a look
a
at.
bit of fun. You can have it's something different, and you have a bit of fun with it, can you?
Yeah. But who won? Let's have a look at the points of the final year, because in season number 5, Omega Luke with 1 point and Omega Dad with 1 point as well. Thrilling competition, right, guys?
Yeah.
Which means the total points are Omega Luke with 3 and Dad with 5.
Yes.
Well done, Dad.
I think that season we was in the same league as one of them, because I beat you both games,
Yeah,
didn't I?
that's literally it. 5-3. An absolutely enthralling competition. What a versus rebuild that was. But I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, and that's the reason why we do these types of different videos and databases. Just have a bit of fun and see what comes out of it. It might not have been the most points tally, but I think we still built quite nice teams, quite good teams.
I think the good thing of it is
for the Irish teams.
Yeah, that's the thing. We use 2 teams that we probably wouldn't use in any other database.
Yeah, there's some people that have gone and asked us to do like the Irish leagues. I'm sorry, but every time we do a league which isn't, you know, one of the top 5, it is my worst performing video in like 2 months, because although the small minority is asking for it, most people don't want to click and watch it. So unfortunately on this channel, it's ways around it like this is where we're obviously going to do videos where we are the teams from Ireland and stuff. So I hope you do enjoy it nonetheless, and make sure you are subscribed so that you don't miss further videos like this one where all chaos happens and we don't know what's going on. They're always fun. They are always fun. So make sure you're checking out this video on screen for you right now, because of course Dad and I went to the Scottish leagues and trying to work our way up to win the Scottish Prem. So that's on your screen right now. And of course, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you for next Monday for another rebuild.